Maximum alert in the capital. Are you seeing this? The league has mounted a brutal conspiracy against us after nearly making it to the Super Bowl. 4 teams will face us after their bye week. No other team in the NFL has to deal with this injustice. Meanwhile, a second-round cornerback is hiding a medical bomb that could explode at any moment. Doctors are worried, but the front office stays silent. And here's an exclusive that no one else has. An undrafted offensive lineman is making waves in training and could be the one to save our franchise quarterback while our starter recovers. Coincidence or conspiracy? The truth will leave you chilled. Like now and subscribe to be the first to know these truths they try to hide. The fate of our season is at stake, and only you can help spread what's really happening. Let me tell you something few are seeing. While everyone talks about Laramie Tunsil and Josh Conerly Jr., there is a hidden name that could completely change the game for us this season: Timothy McKay. This right guard from NC State came quietly as an undrafted free agent. But I tell you, this kid has everything to surprise the league. Why is it so important? Because Sam Cosmi suffered that terrible ACL injury at the end of last season, and we know he won't be ready at the start. The question we're all asking is, who will protect Jaden Daniels in the meantime? McKay played 726 snaps as a right guard in 2024 with an overall grade of 70.5, according to PFF. But what really impresses me is how he improved throughout the season. You know what? In his last 5 games, he didn't allow a single sack nor a hit on the quarterback. Not a single one. Now I ask you, isn't that exactly the type of protection Daniels needs to unleash his potential in his second season? I think so, and that's why I tell you, don't be surprised if McKay ends up earning a starting spot when training camp begins this summer. The plan seems clear. Josh Conerly Jr. could temporarily fill that right guard position, but McKay is there to compete. Washington's offensive line will definitely look different this year, and with Tunsil protecting the blind side, we might finally have the protection our franchise quarterback deserves. A bomb has just exploded regarding our second-round pick. According to Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, Trey Amos, the cornerback we selected with the 61st pick, was dealing with a back injury during the pre-draft process. This information hadn't surfaced until now. How serious is this? An AFC executive told Fowler that this injury likely contributed to Amos dropping in the draft. It wasn't severe enough to cause a drastic fall, but enough for him to be available when we picked. Amos had an interesting path in college football. After spending his first 3 years in Louisiana, he transferred to Alabama, where he had a limited role with no interceptions. Then, he moved again, this time to Ole Miss, where he finally shined with 50 tackles, 13 passes defended, and the first 3 interceptions of his career. Now, I ask you, was the risk worth it? Because our secondary is not at its best. Benjamin St-Juste left in free agency. Michael Davis remains unsigned, and although we added Jonathan Jones and have Marshawn Lattimore, we need Amos to be healthy for depth at the position. Last season, under Joe Witt Jr., our pass defense was better than against the run, but with these changes in the secondary, we need all our cornerbacks at full strength. A healthy Amos could be key, especially considering the teams with powerful passing attacks we will face this season. This is a scandal, and no one seems to be talking about it. Mike Garafolo of NFL Network has just revealed something that should infuriate every Commanders fan. We are the only team in the entire league facing 4 teams that will come rested, off their bye week. Coincidence? I think not. Think about this. Bears, Seahawks, and Broncos will face us after a full week of rest and preparation. And, if that weren't enough, we also have to travel to New York to face the Giants in Week 15 when they too come off their bye week. Is this fair? Absolutely not. Only one of those games, against the Broncos on Sunday Night Football in Weeks 13, comes after our own bye. For the other 3, we will be at a clear disadvantage against teams that have had extra time to recover, analyze our plays, and prepare specifically for us. And if that wasn't enough, we have to travel to Lambeau Field to face the Packers on Thursday Night Football in Week 2. And guess what? The Packers will also play their home opener, so they don't have the same travel issue as us. Now I ask you, isn't it too much of a coincidence that after reaching the NFC Championship, suddenly we have the hardest schedule?
In terms of rest, the NFL clearly doesn't want to see us advance further, with 5 primetime games, an international trip to Madrid to face the Dolphins, and 4 of our last 5 games on the road. Every advantage and disadvantage will count.
The bye week is crucial to recover injured players and prepare strategies, and they are putting us at a clear disadvantage. But here's the good news. We have Jayden Daniels. And with him, we always have a chance to win, no matter how much the league tries to put obstacles in our way. The Washington Commanders' schedule for the 2025 season is packed with crucial tests that could determine if we can surpass last year's achievements. After opening the season at home against the New York Giants, where we aim to assert our dominance from the first game, the team will travel to Green Bay for an exciting Thursday night football in Week 2. This will be our first real test in primetime, a clash against the Packers that will challenge our offense led by Jayden Daniels, who must demonstrate his accuracy and mobility against an aggressive defense. Moving forward in the schedule, Week 6 brings us a Monday Night Football matchup against the Chicago Bears, a game that comes right after tough trips to Los Angeles
to face the Chargers, and to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. These 3 consecutive games represent a grueling stretch, but a home win against the Bears could be the vital boost we need. Imagine the atmosphere at FedEx Field, with fans going wild, and Daniels connecting pinpoint passes to secure a morale-boosting
victory before the season's brutal stretch. The real challenge, without a doubt, comes in Week 8 when we visit the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium.
Facing Patrick Mahomes and his offensive machine is the ultimate test for our defense, now under the leadership of Dan Quinn. Quinn has transformed our defensive game in recent years, focusing on constant pressure and a solid secondary.
This game will not only show how far we've come, but it could be the turning point. A win here would prove that the Commanders are serious playoff contenders, while a loss could expose our weaknesses. Remember, Mahomes is unpredictable, but with players like Jonathan Allen and Darren Payne on the defensive line, we have the tools to disrupt his rhythm. It's not all games in the United States. In Week 11, we head to Madrid for an international showdown against the Miami Dolphins. This game has massive playoff implications, as it comes just before our bye week, offering a perfect opportunity to rack up wins. The Dolphins, with their
explosive speed and an offense led by Tua Tagovailoa, will represent an interesting contrast with our more physical style of play. Playing on European soil adds an element of unpredictability, with jet lag and a neutral crowd as additional factors. A win here would not only add key points to the standings, but also give us a mental break before the bye week, allowing Quinn to adjust strategies for the season's close. Then come 2 divisional games that could decide it all. In Week 17, we host the Dallas Cowboys at home on Christmas Day, a classic NFC East rivalry that always brings intense competition. Winning this duel would not only bring us closer to the divisional title, but it could also secure better playoff positioning. We close the regular season with a trip to Philadelphia to face the Eagles, a game that could be played in the cold of January. Imagine the scene: defeating the Eagles on their hostile turf, securing a playoff spot, or even the divisional championship. These matches against direct rivals are golden opportunities for Daniels to shine as the franchise quarterback, supported by an emerging receiving core and an improved offensive line. But can we successfully navigate this brutal schedule? The NFL has designed a challenging itinerary with multiple primetime games, long trips, and matchups against elite teams like the Chiefs, Cowboys, and Eagles. However, I firmly believe that we can overcome it. Under Dan Quinn's guidance, we've
built a culture of resilience and constant improvement. Jayden Daniels, with his combination of speed and accuracy, has the potential to be the catalyst that leads us to the NFC Championship. We'll need every player to give their all. A defense that contains star quarterbacks, an offense that capitalizes on opportunities, and a special unit that avoids costly mistakes. Of course, not everything depends on the players. The fans play a crucial role. Your support in the stands, whether at home or from afar, can make the difference in tight games. What do I think? Definitely, the Commanders have what it takes to overcome these challenges. With such a demanding schedule, This season could be the one that catapults us back to the postseason, and, who knows, maybe even beyond. The NFL may have set up a tough challenge, but with determination and perfect execution, Dan Quinn and Jaden Daniels could lead us to glory. If you haven't joined the Commanders family yet, this is the perfect moment. Subscribe right now to not
Miss any exclusive analysis on our team during this crucial 2025 season. And remember, hail to the Commanders!